Tonight's headlines are brought to you by McDonald's and Marianas Coffee.
Good evening, Commonwealth, and thanks for watching the Channel 2 News. I'm Dan Shore. Let's take a look at tonight's top stories. A major tourist attraction calls it quits at 2 locations. Also, tonight, the credits roll for the last time at Hollywood theaters. And what's love got to do with it? A sexual assault bill is revisited at the legislature. And what? A local drill team takes their show on the road and brings some hardware back. Stay with us. These stories and more are next.
Can somebody please help me judge this chicken?
Juicy, seasoned.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the hair.
Now, who you think made this?
I don't know who cooked it, but they know how to cook.
Boom! Oh, McDonald's! Yes!
Are you serious? You don't like Mickey D's? Okay.
Guess what? I got something special for y'all. Double dip! Cause that nods mean people who love McCrispy strips. How you feeling now? Yeah.
Caught in 4K.
McCrispy strips, man, from Mickey D's. They here for it. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
I love Marianas Coffee. Come join me for a cup. I think you would be really happy.
Half a day, Tirawami, and good evening, Commonwealth. You are watching the Channel 2 News on May the 2nd from our studio high up on Capitol Hill. Big changes are coming to Saipan's retail scene as the island's duty-free shoppers, or DFS, has shut its doors, both in Garapan and inside Saipan International.
It's day 1 at the DFS airport, and this is what it looks like.
After decades of serving tourists and locals alike, the luxury retailer announced earlier this year it would close its Saipan operations at the end of April. DFS cited ongoing economic challenges and a sharp decline in tourism since the pandemic as key reasons behind the decision. DFS helped to build the Saipan airport and was the major tenant there for almost 50 years. At the Tea Galleria, the Garapan location, Wednesday meant a few shoppers looking around, perhaps not buying much, but definitely spending some time on some memories.
There wasn't very much. Most of the shelves were empty.
In the back area, a lot of the items have been prepared for boxing up and perhaps shipping to other locations. Torsos gathered together here in this corner, wondering where they may be shipped to next. For these local restaurant owners, it was a range of emotions.
The last day here at DFS, how does it make you feel?
How make it feel?
I feel sad. I want duty-free stay. Today, last day, that's why we come to look.
In the past year, Asiana Airlines has stopped flying, Hyatt has stopped operating, Kensington has announced it will close temporarily, and PIC announced it will cut a major chunk of its workforce. This summer, Korean carrier T-Ways will pause flights.
Now the business very slow.
Yeah.
Very sad, no tourists. We want the business come back same before.
Even hotel gonna close soon.
The closure is expected to impact dozens of employees, many of whom are now looking for new opportunities. Commonwealth government says it's working with labor and tourism officials to mitigate the economic ripple effect. In March, the Hotel Association reported just a 28% average occupancy rate across 11 major hotels. That's down nearly 18% from March of last year, and that's a steep drop compared to pre-pandemic levels when hotels regularly saw occupancy rates of 80% or more. For these twins, a parting memory of this week will be a couple of characters, including this banana.
Tell me about it. What is it?
Banana.
Is it like for a pet toy or?
No. It's just, I thought it was funny.
So you got one and you got one? I like it.
DFS first opened on Saipan in the 70s, helping define the island's image as a luxury shopping destination. Now its departure marks the end of an era.
What will become of this empty space next? We shall see. Saipan Halstead for the Channel 2 News.
A Chinese man who dealt drugs, ran a local baby factory, and killed a PRC man in Palau was sentenced to 25 years in prison this week by Judge Mona Manglonia. Ye Fang, a.k.a. Batu, was sentenced to 25 years in prison for conspiracy to possess and distribute over 500 grams of methamphetamine. Authorities say Ye Fang came to Saipan in 2016 on a tourist visa and ran a birth tourism business, hosting at least 200 women and their families so that the pregnant women could give birth on Saipan. He later turned to drug dealing. In 2023, he fled by boat to Guam and shipped crystal meth back to Saipan in lava lamps. Authorities say Fang eventually fled Guam using someone else's ID and went to Palau, where he organized the gruesome murder of a PRC citizen. He was arrested in Palau, and in May of 2024, he was extradited back here to the CNMI. Albert Flores and Ashley Coast helped prosecute the case on behalf of the United States. This week marks the end of an era. Hollywood Theaters, the only movie theater on the island, has officially closed its doors.
Everyone has their favorite movie or movie scene. For me, it's Field of Dreams, a unique story with a young Kevin Costner searching for magic in a baseball field. If you build it, they will come. Remember picking out movies at Blockbuster? These days, there's only one of those left on the entire planet. It's in Bend, Oregon. Definitely worth a nostalgic visit. Nearby, there's a stretch of river, perfect for playing catch with the family. And whenever we gather, I always make sure to bring the Wilson A2000, hand carry, because the Field of Dreams, well, it's wherever you are. Movies take us places, and I've always appreciated that about the Saipan Movie Theater. On Wednesday, staff gathered to prepare for their final night of paying customers, a bittersweet send-off for a place that's meant so much to this small island community.
It's pretty sad because, it's the only one on the island, being the small island that it is. So it's kind of sad for all the youngins. They have nowhere else to go for nightly entertainment.
And movies?
Yeah, movies.
Earlier this week, we shared a clip of a young girl, and she is celebrating her birthday this weekend, and we would like to say happy birthday.
What is your favorite movie?
Ninja Turtles.
Whoa, Ninja Turtles.
Because I'm a ninja.
You're what?
A ninja.
You're a ninja?
Yeah.
What do you like to see in movies?
When they're doing ninja stuff.
You like fights?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel today? Are you a little bit sad?
Yeah, because it's the last day and I really wanted to watch the Ninja Turtle movie.
Later in the evening, the sun begins to set and the theater comes alive one last time. The final show, The Accountant 2, a snack bar, fresh out of popcorn. But the crowd didn't seem to mind. It still felt like movie night, about 3/4 full. Let's be honest, the name The Accountant might be the driest in cinema history. The Accountant 2, even drier. But maybe that's the joke. And the movie? Not bad. Who knew accountants had that much pent-up rage and gun skills? We'd give it 4 tinny and peppers out of a possible 5. As the credits rolled, the audience applauds. Weekends won't quite be the same. Hopefully someone with entrepreneurial spirit will step in and the credits will roll again someday. Because if you build it, they will come. And this one's already built. To the entire Regal team who ran this place with heart, thank you for the memories, the magic, and the movies. Good night.
Changes could be coming to NMI sexual assault laws, but the public defender says a new amendment could mean jail time for consensual teenage behavior. This week, the 9-member Standing Committee meets to amend provisions in the impending Title VI Sexual Assault Bill. The committee is open to public comments. Christine Aldan, Child Protective Services.
Our current provisions have not been revised in many years, and as a result, they do not fully reflect the severity and complexity of the crimes we are seeing today.
Macy Tenorio of the NMI Coalition Against Domestic and Sexual Violence.
Every citizen here in this NMI, most especially our children, deserve to live free of violence and abuse. And that's what this bill aims to do, right? Why are we doing this bill? Why have we worked so hard, many hours on this bill over the course of the last several years to update our statutes and our laws, to expand protections for our children, to ensure that we have a way to hold offenders accountable. And I do want to take a moment to recognize Marissa Flores for working with us, pushing us and challenging us and responding to our call for support during the last legislature.
House Leader Marissa Flores first introduced this bill during last year's legislative session. It passed the House, but due to a then lame duck Senate, the bill has not yet made it to the governor's desk.
This bill was originally introduced in the last legislature, which did not pass due to the lame duck and the timing of that. Now here we are, months later, and the rise of cases against children rose. And if we don't do anything now, what if it was your daughter?
Chief Prosecutor Chester Hines.
This bill is really important because it will help with the prosecution of these cases. Because sexual abuse of a minor is one of the hardest offenses to prosecute. Primarily, this is because offenses are usually committed in private. There's often little or no corroborating evidence, and it's usually one person's word against another. The onus is on the Commonwealth to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant is guilty, and the defendant is not required to prove innocence. That is why we want to update the sexual abuse of a minor statute to enable better prosecutions. These updates are not controversial. They are needed.
The bill would raise the age of sexual consent to 15 as opposed to 13 and mandate that no person 21 or older can legally be intimate with anyone 17 years and under. In opposition to the bill, Saipan Public Defender Douglas Hartig.
The way it's actually formulated is it can actually outlaw consensual, and it does outlaw consensual activity between two teenagers. And that's the real opposition I have. And where it has mandatory minimum sentences, so a 19-year-old with a 15-year-old girlfriend with no allegation of actual sexual intercourse, under certain facts, he could still get at least 2, if not 15 years in prison.
We are not trying to criminalize teenage relationships. And as I testified in there, in fact, we are expanding the age gap. So in the current law, which is Public Law 12-82, there are provisions in there that say if you're at this age, then you can consent to sex with somebody up to this age. And that age gap is 3 years. That's the current statute. We are expanding that age gap to 4 years. Because working with DYS, working with other agencies, DPS, the Aegis Office, and talking directly with our youth and with parents, we recognize that that's something that we need to accept. Right, that teenagers are going to be in relationships and they're going to make choices regarding their body. I will say that, as we have worked with survivors for many years and we work with the school system and we work with young people, we have learned so many things over the course of the last 20, 30, 40 years about what kind of protections our young people need. Right? And when we learn, when we have new information, then we change our approach, we change our response, we change our policy, and that's what we're doing.
After public comments and after discussion, including testimony of opposing attorneys, the committee agreed to pass the amended motion on to the full legislative body for their approval. Coming up, Taste of the Marianas returning to American Memorial Park this weekend. And You want to know what Bob Coldine has been up to? Well, he wants to know what the Sands of Time have been up to in and around Micro Beach. You want to see this? Stick around.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
At one of Saipan's beaches, this mother lays about 100 eggs under the cover of darkness. She hides her nest as best she can and then slowly makes her way back to the ocean. The eggs hatch and the babies head for the sea, where they will face a daily dose of danger. Just 1 in 1,000 will make it to adulthood. Those that do will one day lay their own eggs. Sea turtles are protected under CNMI law. If you see one that is stranded or if you see illegal activity, call the hotline at 287-8537.
What's love got to do with this? What's love but a second-hand emotion? At Marianas Beach Resort, come to the edge of the ocean and experience the best sunsets on Saipan at Skipper's Beach Bar. Open daily from 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., Skipper's is the perfect place to unwind with great friends, great weather, and stunning ocean views. And every hour is happy hour with $3.99 craft draft beer, local food specials, and live music. Bring a friend or make some new ones. Skipper's is where memories are made. Skipper's Beach Bar, the best sunsets, the best fun. Come join us tonight. See you at the beach.
But I think of you sometime. Want to spend some time with you. Just the two of us.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Let's go! Let's go.
Welcome back. You're watching the Friday night edition of the Channel 2 News. The Marianas Visitors Authority sponsors the 26th annual Taste of the Marianas beginning tomorrow night at American Memorial Park. There are 5 Saturdays in the 2025 May calendar, each of them promising food for the soul. MVA Community Projects Manager Martin Duenas.
I think everyone is excited for our first night of our Taste of the Marianas this coming Saturday, May 3rd. It's going to feature, actually it's going to take place every Saturday for the month of May, which is there's 5 Saturdays. There's 24 vendors, food vendors, and 3 beer gardens that will be ready to serve the community as well as our visitors to the island. So yeah, we're very excited.
There will also be live music, traditional crafts, and performances, as well as food competitions.
The event's going to take place from 5 to 10 every Saturday, and with up to 11 on the last Saturday.
Taste of the Marianas, American Memorial Park, tomorrow and every single Saturday evening in the merry month of May. If a grain of sand moves, the world changes. Our Bob Coldine chronicles the days of our lives by way of the shifting sands of Saipan's Micro Beach.
There's a saying,
If a grain of sand moves, the world changes. If that's true, and it is, then Micro Beach has changed the world a gazillion times. Who knows what happened here the last 30 million years? But we do know what happened the last 81.
An aerial photo taken in February 1944 by the U.S. Navy labeled Japanese Boat Basin shows the initial construction of a pier at Outer Cove across from Punta Mochot. The pier disappeared during the Battle of Saipan briefly. The U.S. Navy stored tons of dynamite there. Japanese soldiers attacked. One of their bullets struck the dynamite. The explosion wiped out the pier, killing both American and Japanese soldiers. Notice, no island inside the cove back then. Sand aggregated at the outlet where a stream emptied on the north side of now American Memorial Park, creating a small rounded beach. A Japanese map from 1921 shows a pond in the same place as today, but curiously, no stream or drainage.
This pillbox was built by the Japanese in 1944 to keep the American troops from coming ashore, and the shore was right over there. Now, you can't even see the shore. It's so far away.
This photo, taken by the Navy in 1945, shows the Seabees' construction of a barrier peninsula, land surrounded by water on three sides and connected to land. This area was home to the Naval Supply Depot and temporary home to U.S. troops. Punta Mochot was a point sticking out in the water, and see how it lined up with the inner harbor? Meanwhile, a large swath of loose sand lay under shallow water to the west and north, waiting for orders to move. In 1949, a sandbar extended all the way out to where waves were breaking.
You can see what erosion has done to this walkway here, and so you ask yourself, well, why didn't the Park Service move the walkway farther inland? Well, they did. This is the second walkway. The first one was way out there. In fact, today, there's a concrete bench way out there from 2013 when it all washed away, including restrooms that were right over there. They're gone. Where did everything go? Washed away by the sands of time.
In 1959, a spit of sand off the north edge of Micro Beach lasted long enough for this ironwood tree to grow, while Outer Cove looked like a ship graveyard. And Micro Beach was pristine, a perfect setting for family outings. Notice the lifeguard stand built by the Navy for their people. Most days, Micro Beach looked like this, an empty span of sand. This 1968 photo shows the Inner Cove land bridge still intact. The government called it Garapan Marina. Some people referred to it as Small Boats Dock. A group of local motorcycle enthusiasts liked to hang out there, drink beer, joke around. They were always smiling, and that's why they were called the Smiling Gang. 3 decades before there was a smile-shaped island in Smiling Cove Marina. Notice the open field? That's where the Saipan Baseball League played, 1953, 1954. Hey, see those 2 rectangles east of the field?
Here are those rectangles today. They were arch bridges. One is partially buried, as you can see, and if you walk over here, the other one is completely buried except for a small exposed concrete from the top here, the bridge today. This bridge here is actually the second one that the Park Service built after the first one had to be replaced. They replaced it with this concrete archway at a cost of about $200,000, if I remember right. And you can see that, well, the drainage has been straightened out. There's a new creek here, comes over here. 3 years ago, there was a beach here. This was all sand. All of that sand is now gone. It's been replaced. And now mangrove trees are saying thank you. They're rejoicing. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear the mangroves sing. Love that brackish water. Oh, Saipan, you're my home.
Saipan splices the North Equatorial Current as it encircles the island. Currents coming around from the north and the south collide just off Micro Beach, such that one can sit on a sandbar and get slapped by a warm wave on one cheek, and seconds later get slapped on the other cheek by a slightly cooler wave. No wonder the sand gets pushed around.
All of this land here is new over the last 50 years. It's Saipan's Civil War. It's the North versus the South. And once again, the north is winning. To show you how sand is shifting all the time. Last year, the sand came to with 15 feet of Smile Island, but now you can see it's really receded. And over here, it was threatening the channel, it was coming in. Now it too is starting to go back. So where did all the sand go? To the other side. You can see it building up right now. Morning glory vines creep in. Grass seeds plant their toes in the sand. They like it. They decide to stay. Ironwood trees take root. New land formed by the shifting sands of Saipan. Bob Coldine for KSPN.
Good story, Bob. Coming up in sports, a drill team returns victorious with how many? Too many trophies to count. Welcome to Saipan is next. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Marianas Beach Resort, and now welcome to Marianas Coffee. Indulge in the rich, smooth taste of classic coffee, or treat yourself to one of our signature creations with the best coffee roasted right here in Saipan. Craving something fun? Try our cracking marshmallow milkshake, or one of our refreshing milk teas. Stay cool with locally grown lemongrass lemonade, the perfect tropical twist. Pair your drink with our delicious cakes, desserts, sandwiches, and salads freshly made just for you. And with super fast Wi-Fi, it's the perfect place to work or unwind. Marianas Coffee at Marianas Beach Resort, where great coffee meets great style. Location, location, location. Office space on Capitol Hill available now at the Hermosa Vista Business Park. With natural light and ocean views, it's the perfect place for creative professionals. So upgrade your life and your working environment. Schedule an exclusive showing now. Call us at 670-483-4750 or email hvsaipan@gmail.com.
Buenas sports fans.
Buenas sports fans, a 28-member Saipan Southern drill team wins and wins and wins and wins in California, and then faces a logistics problem. How much are the tariffs on a major stash of trophies? Welcome to Saipan. Welcome home. The Saipan Southern JROTC drill team returns from California, where they competed and won and won and won and won at the Golden Bear Drill Competition. Command Sergeant Major Richard Bassa.
The purpose was to go there and try to win the traveling trophy, which is the highest Army trophy that you can get from the Golden Bear. And I think it's right here, or right there. And we achieved that, so that was one of our goals.
The choice to enter into a drill competition that challenges one's endurance, discipline, and teamwork is not an easy one.
I wanted to join drill because I really like how, let's see, how I word this. I really like how they improve leadership in some people.
Mine was kind of influenced by my sister. She was previously in drill, and I thought that was really cool, so I decided to try it out, and I'm here again, second year.
There were months of training culminating in one long day of actual competition.
We actually only competed one day, but it was throughout the whole day from 7 to 6 p.m. in the afternoon. Preparing for this whole competition was really a struggle, but then in the end we got it. There was a lot of communicating that we had to do, a lot of practice days, even some days on the weekends, even when you knew that we needed to practice.
The saying that practice makes perfect, words into action.
It was awesome. It was great. It feels really good that all my hard work has been paying off. All those after-school practices, lunch and morning practices paying off. I felt like I wanted to have a brothership, or I felt like I wanted to do something in my high school years.
High school-age students traveled across the world to compete. Not a simple task for the students, but how about for the chaperones?
Miss Mona, it's a hard work. It's a hard work. Miss Mona and Miss Doors, having 28 kids with you, it's very hard. Okay? Well, it's a fast pace. We went there 7 days, and we're going 55 miles an hour. 55 miles. And I think this is like 10 miles an hour right now. Okay, so, but they did pretty good. So let's give the cadets a big round of applause.
And the graciousness is returned.
I'd like to thank Sergeant Major Bassa for taking us this far into our journey and making it a memorable experience for all of us.
And speaking of practice making perfect, Quasi is arriving for his bi-weekly working visit to Saipan from his home in Guam. He's planning to develop skills at his new hobby.
I like the scenery. This time I actually liked it so much I bought a camera to take photography. So usually what I do is I go on hiking trails. I go to Mount Tapachao and just take scenery pictures. I also like the fact that it's always sunny and it's always good food and good vibes, and the people are just so nice.
Oh, by the way, Quasi calls himself an amateur photographer, but he is also a regular visiting neurosurgeon practicing at the Commonwealth Health Center.
Happy to be in Saipan, and I always love coming back to Saipan, my second home.
Thank you so much, sir, and welcome back.
This is Masi.
All right.
This Jason is not Jason Sanchez, but he is from Dallas, Texas, USA. He's celebrating his dad's retirement by joining him on an island-hopping Micronesian adventure. He'll be on the island of Saipan for an entire month.
Me, I'm ready to get in the water. I'm ready to swim, snorkel, see the fishes. That's all I'm ready for. I'm ready to beat the heat. I'm ready to beat the heat.
Welcome to Saipan. While you're here, you can certainly beat the heat by snorkeling and swimming, but also by marching to the beat of a different drummer. And if the heat somehow does get the best of you, worry not. Our neurosurgeon is ready, willing, and able to photograph your imminent recovery. Welcome home.
Hey, golfers, come north and practice your game at the Marianas Driving Range. New Year's local specials. 10-piece coupon books available for just $60. That's a $10 savings. Want to get really good? Come work on your swing every day for just $99 per month. It's our practice pass and you're going to love it. Grab your passes and go straight to the range. You can social distance and chip all at the same time, and the views are free. Reserve now at marianastrekking.com. You can pay online, open 7 days a week.
Here's the weather. Tonight, partly cloudy with a 20% chance of isolated showers, calm winds and low temperatures of around 78 degrees. The weekend coming will remain dry and beautiful with only a 20% chance of raining on our parade as we taste the Marianas Saturday evening in American Memorial Park. High temperatures for the weekend hover around 87 degrees and lows in the dinner hours of around 78 degrees. The sun has set at 6:35 p.m. and will rise tomorrow, Saturday, at 5:53 a.m. Enjoy the weekend, Marianas, and have a rest. And I will see you in the water or on the land. Well, that is news, sports, and weather, CNMI. Have a beautiful weekend. And if you're in Saipan, it's the taste of the Marianas.